we're going to be doing a side-lying leg drape. So the first thing we're actually going to be doing is undraping this leg and then turning to the sideline. So this is an alternative. A lot of times people are in a sideline and you do a leg drape, but in this video we're actually going to be doing a leg drape and then turning to sideline. But because I'm turning this person to sideline, I actually need to remove the pillow because it's going to be in my way when they're on their side. So let's take this leg pillow out. I'm going to fold the sheets towards the midline here. I'm going to bend at their knees. I can slide the pillow out, hold on to that, and we will bring this down and to the sides. I'm just going to set this off to the side and we'll bring that back into use for a little bit later. So the next step is to actually do a high leg drape because we're going to be exposing gluteals in this sideline drape as well. So we're going to be bringing the sheet towards the midline here. So standard high leg drape like we've done in previous videos, I'm going to bring my edge up. I'm going to reach underneath the leg, grab the sheet edge, slide it up nice and high. But in this one, I'm actually going to be modifying how much I bring up because we're going to be turning to sideline. So I need to use this sheet that I brought up as an additional drape to cover them. So I'm actually going to continue bringing the sheet up and through until that bottom corner is also up. So we're going to slide all of this material up with us for our sideline drape. I'm going to bring the leg back down. Smooth out our sheets a little bit here. You want to have a towel close by, so I'm going to keep that in close proximity for myself. And now in this instance, we're going to be turning our individual onto their left side while I hold this sheet, which is essentially going to be covering their backside as well as their low back. So I'm going to hold the top of the sheet and the bottom of the sheet and make sure that as they turn that they stay covered. So we want to make sure that this is tight because this is going to become the inside ring of the drape. Okay, so whenever you are ready, if you would like to turn onto your side and move back towards me a little bit in the process. Excellent. So now that I've done that, I was able to hold both parts of the sheet up together, which we're going to continue with our leg drape, as well as I still have coverage for the low back and the gluteal area. Okay, so our person is going to have to hang out for a second while we secure this drape. So let's get in nice and close on this while we kind of cover this leg drape up. So what I'm going to be doing is exposing some of the gluteals in the process while I hold on to the two of them. So I'm going to grab some of my extra material. So I have these two, front and back. I'm pinching them, and I'm going to draw my extra material as we start to undrape the glute. So we're going to be bringing it up nice and high like we talked about. So I have full glute being undraped here. I'm going to start to tuck and roll in. And as we get closer towards this middle, I need to cover these two up. So you'll see the undergarment a little bit, but what I need to do is bring this drape forward, and I might cut into the undergarment line a little bit. And then I'm going to cover the two sheets up. So one is over top of the other one. So here's the bottom one, and now I'm grabbing from the front, and I'm going to secure that forward and over top. So now those two are overlapping each other, and starting from a far, kind of not right where they first crossed over, but quite a ways down here, I'm going to start to tuck in on each other. So this is where your drape gets nice and tight and strong, is that they need to fold in on each other and make sure they're secure. Okay, so if you feel that's nice and tight and I'm having difficulty tucking the two of them together because it's quite tight, this is going to stay, but I still need to reinforce that, and we still need to make sure that the rest of the body stays covered. So we're going to go grab a towel, which is, as I have, close by, and we are going to lay it across the body here. So there's another layer for the upper part of the body, plus a reinforcement for the bottom. I'm going to go to the bottom sheet. So you can see the texture difference between these two sheets. I'm grabbing the bottom one, and I'm going to secure the towel underneath their bottom glute as well as their low back. I'm going to tighten up the towel by pulling it forward and then using that into the top of my drape. So again, I'm trying to reinforce the drape, add another piece of material in there, but this is actually going to hold the glute drape up so it doesn't start to drop forward. And now my towel can hang forward and the weight is going to help cover up their upper body. The last thing that we need to do is, it's not really comfortable to have your knees kind of pushed together here. So I am going to be grabbing a pillowcased pillow. In this instance, we want to place this between the knees and the ankles, kind of the bony objects here. So I am going to be lifting up the leg. I'm just going to slide that between the knees and the ankles. So we want this pillow to be supporting and make it comfortable for this person, stabilizing kind of both components to it. And again, obviously the last thing you always need to do is check in with your client and make sure that they're comfortable and that their drape feels secure and that you can continue with treatment. If you are looking and you're noticing that there could be some kind of differences in height and the person's having some uncomfortability or discomfort in their hip, we might need to add additional pillows in play. So one thing that if we raise the hip up, it actually starts to even out in the pelvis. So if you're using a flatter pillow in this area, you might actually use an additional pillow. Thank you. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when we have two pillows in play. So again, underneath the knee and underneath the ankle, and giving them a nice soft support. This actually has raised the hip up, making it more in line, so there's less pressure into the gluteal area and on the acetabular joint itself. So it still should feel fairly stable, and the drape feels still really tight. And that's going to conclude a supine to sideline full gluteal leg drape.